Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Roy English Talk. Have you ever studied English for years but still felt nervous when speaking? You're not alone. Millions of learners reach a stage where they understand grammar. They know a lot of vocabulary. But when it's time to speak, their mind suddenly freezes. This is what I call the B1-B2 barrier, and breaking through it is the key to becoming truly fluent and confident. In this masterclass, I'll guide you step by step through practical methods that actually work in real conversations. You'll learn how to expand your vocabulary with natural expressions, improve your pronunciation so people understand you clearly, and develop fluency strategies that make speaking feel smooth and natural. And here's the most important part. You'll also discover how to change your mindset, so you stop fearing mistakes and start speaking with confidence. Stay until the end because I'll share powerful exercises you can practice immediately. Ready? Let's begin. One of the biggest challenges English learners face at the B1-B2 level is the feeling of being stuck. You can understand conversations, you can read articles, maybe even watch TV shows, but when it's your turn to speak, the words don't flow the way you want. Why does this happen? It's not because you're bad at English. It's because fluency is a skill that requires a different kind of practice. At this stage, many learners make the mistake of focusing too much on grammar perfection. They pause to think, is this past tense correct? Should I use have been or was? By the time you decide, the conversation has already moved on. The truth is, communication is more important than perfection. Native speakers themselves make grammar mistakes all the time, but they continue speaking with confidence. Think about a time when you spoke with someone in your native language. Did you stop after every sentence to correct your grammar? Of course not. You just spoke naturally. That's the same mindset you need in English. The goal is not to speak without mistakes. The goal is to speak without fear. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do last weekend?" At B1 level, many learners freeze because they want the answer to be perfect. They think too hard about tenses. Instead, a fluent but imperfect response like, "Oh, I go shopping with my friend, it was really fun," is much better than silence. The person listening will understand you, and you'll keep the conversation alive. Later, as you practice, you'll naturally correct the tense to, "I went shopping with my friend." Another big challenge is vocabulary hesitation. At this level, learners know the words, but when they want to speak, the right word doesn't come quickly. This happens because you've stored words in your memory, but you haven't practiced using them enough in real conversations. Think of it like knowing the names of hundreds of songs but not being able to sing them. The solution is active practice, actually using the words, not just learning them. For example, instead of learning the word delicious once and moving on, try making 10 sentences with it. This pizza is delicious. The movie was delicious for my mind. The weather feels delicious today. By forcing yourself to use the word in different contexts, you train your brain to recall it faster in real conversations. Confidence is also about rhythm. Many learners speak English like they're reading a book. Too slow, too careful, too stiff. But fluent speech has rhythm, like music. Try repeating short sentences quickly. "I got it." "No problem. Let's go." "Sounds good." These are everyday phrases that give your English flow and natural confidence. Here's a practical exercise. Pick 5 short phrases you use in your native language every day. Translate them into English and repeat them 5 times quickly. For example, "Really? That's amazing." "I can't believe it." "Are you serious?" "Tell me more." The more you repeat them, the more automatic they become. Now, let's talk about fear. Many B1-B2 learners know what they want to say, but fear stops them. Fear of judgment, fear of mistakes, fear of sounding silly. But here's the truth. Native speakers don't care about your mistakes. In fact, most will admire your effort. Think about how you feel when someone speaks your language. Even if they make mistakes, you usually find it impressive, right? It's the same with English. To illustrate this, let me share the story of one of my students, Maria. She had studied English for almost 10 years but never spoke in class. She always worried about making mistakes. When she finally moved to the United States, she was terrified of speaking. But one day at a grocery store, she couldn't find an item and decided to ask someone, "Excuse me, where is, bread?" The sentence wasn't perfect, but the person smiled, pointed her to the aisle, and even started a friendly conversation. That small moment gave her the confidence to try again, and today she speaks with ease. Her story shows that fluency grows when you stop waiting for perfection and start using the English you already know. So how do you practice this mindset? One way is through timed speaking challenges. Set a timer for 2 minutes and talk about your day in English without stopping. Don't correct yourself, don't pause to think too much, just keep speaking. Even if you repeat words, even if it feels messy, it's training your brain to push past hesitation. With practice, your ideas will start flowing more naturally. Another powerful tool is shadowing. Listen to a short clip of a native speaker and repeat exactly what they say, imitating their rhythm and tone. Don't worry if you miss some words. The goal is to get used to speaking smoothly without overthinking. Here's another exercise you can try if you have a study partner or a friend. The don't stop game. One person asks a simple question like, "What's your favorite food?" And the other has to speak for 1 full minute without stopping. Even if you run out of ideas, keep talking. "My favorite food is pizza. I like pizza because, maybe because it's easy to eat. Oh, and my friends love it too." This trains you to keep conversations alive instead of freezing. And remember, fluency is not about speaking fast. It's about speaking smoothly. Even if you speak slowly, as long as your ideas flow, you are fluent. Speed will come later, so breaking the B1-B2 barrier means changing your approach. Stop chasing perfection, focus on communication, practice vocabulary in action, build rhythm, and most importantly, speak without fear. Once you accept mistakes as part of the journey, your fluency will grow faster than you ever expected. When learners reach the B1-B2 level, vocabulary often becomes their biggest limitation. You might know hundreds, even thousands of English words, but when it's time to speak, the same simple words keep coming out. Good, bad, nice, big, small, happy, sad. Sound familiar? Don't worry, you're not alone. The key to fluency is not learning every word in the dictionary. It's learning the right words and using them naturally. Let's start with a truth. You don't need advanced or complicated vocabulary to sound fluent. In fact, using too many fancy words can make your English sound unnatural. What you need is a strong collection of everyday expressions that allow you to communicate clearly and confidently. Step 1. Learn word families. Instead of memorizing random words, focus on word families. For example, take the word happy. If you only know happy, your speech becomes limited. But if you learn the full family, happy, happiness, happily, unhappy, overjoyed, delighted, you suddenly have more flexibility. Imagine this. I'm happy today. Happiness is important in life. She smiled happily. He was unhappy with the results. They were overjoyed to see their friend again. With one base word, you've created multiple expressions. This technique multiplies your vocabulary without feeling overwhelming. Step 2. Replace basic words. At the intermediate level, many learners overuse basic words. Here's how you can replace them with richer alternatives. Good, great, wonderful, fantastic, excellent, decent, bad, terrible, awful, horrible, unpleasant, disappointing, big, huge, enormous, massive, gigantic, small, tiny, little, miniature, compact, happy, glad, thrilled, delighted, overjoyed, sad, upset, heartbroken, miserable. Down, now, compare. Basic. The food was good. Improved. The food was fantastic. Basic. I'm sad today. Improved. I'm feeling miserable today. It's a small change, but it makes your English much more expressive. Step 3. Learn collocations. Collocations are words that naturally go together. Native speakers don't say do a mistake, they say make a mistake. They don't say powerful coffee, they say strong coffee. Here are some common collocations. Heavy rain, not strong rain. Fast food, not quick food. Break the rules, not destroy the rules. Do homework, not make homework. Using collocations correctly makes you sound instantly more fluent because you're speaking the way natives actually do. Step 4. Focus on functional phrases. Instead of learning single words, learn short phrases you can use in real conversations. For example, instead of hungry, I'm starving. Instead of tired, I'm exhausted. Instead of angry, I'm fed up. Instead of I don't know, I have no idea. These phrases are natural, easy to remember, and make your English flow better. Step 5. Practice with the 5 words method. Choose 5 basic words you use too often, like good, bad, big, small, happy. Then, for each one, find at least 3 alternatives. After that, practice making full sentences. Example: good, great. Fantastic, wonderful, bad, awful, terrible. Disappointing, happy, delighted, thrilled. Overjoyed. Now create sentences. We had a fantastic trip last weekend. The movie was awful. I wouldn't recommend it. She was thrilled to receive the award. The more you practice, the faster these words will come naturally when you speak. Step 6. Use the 3-8-3 retention method. One reason learners forget vocabulary is because they don't use it enough. That's where the 3-8-3 method comes in. When you learn a new word, say it out loud 3 times. Write 3 sentences with it. Use it in 3 conversations within the week. For example, with the word confident. Say, confident, confident, confident. Write, I feel confident today. She looks confident on stage. He is confident about his future. Use. Next time you talk about yourself, say, I'm confident about my English skills. This technique moves vocabulary from passive memory to active usage. Step 7. Learn vocabulary by theme. Another mistake learners make is studying random words with no connection. Instead, focus on themes. If you love movies, learn plot, actor, director, scene, review. If you work in business, learn meeting, deadline, presentation, negotiation. If you enjoy cooking, learn ingredients, recipe, delicious, spicy, flavor. This way you'll remember words faster because they're connected to topics you actually use in daily life. Story example: Ali's transformation. One of my students, Ali, always used the word good. Good day, good food, good movie, good job. His English was correct, but it sounded boring and repetitive. I gave him a challenge. For 1 week, he couldn't use the word good. Instead, he had to choose an alternative like amazing, wonderful, excellent, decent. At first, it was difficult. But after a few days, he started saying, the movie was amazing, or the restaurant was excellent. By the end of the week, his English sounded richer, more natural, and much more confident. Final takeaway: vocabulary expansion is not about learning complicated words. It's about learning useful, natural words and phrases. So remember, learn word families. Replace basic words with better alternatives. Master collocations. Focus on functional phrases. Use the 3-3 method to remember new words. Learn by theme. With these techniques, you'll never feel stuck using the same simple words again. Instead, your English will sound confident, expressive, and natural. When you hear the word grammar, what do you feel? For many English learners, grammar feels like a monster. It's full of confusing rules, exceptions, and endless corrections. At the B1-B2 level, students often freeze when speaking because they're afraid of making grammar mistakes. But here's the truth. Grammar is not the enemy. Grammar is just a tool, and the goal is not perfection, it's communication. Think about it. Native speakers break grammar rules every single day. Have you ever heard someone say, I ain't got no money, or me and my friend went to the store? These aren't perfect sentences, but people use them all the time, and everyone still understands. So, if natives don't stress about grammar, why should you? At this stage, your focus should shift from perfect grammar to clear grammar. That means using structures that make your meaning easy to understand, even if they're not always 100% correct. Step 1. Identify your core grammar. Instead of trying to master every tense, focus on the most important ones. Present simple. I work every day. Present continuous. I'm working right now. Past simple. I watched a movie yesterday. Present perfect. I've seen that movie before. Future with will. I'll call you later. Future with going to. I'm going to travel next week. These 6 tenses cover more than 90% of daily conversations. If you can use them comfortably, you'll be able to handle almost any situation. You don't need advanced structures like past perfect continuous to order food at a restaurant, explain your opinion, or tell a story. Stick to the core grammar that actually helps you communicate. Step 2. Stop obsessing over mistakes. Many learners stop mid-sentence to correct themselves. Yesterday I went to the park. But here's the problem. When you interrupt yourself, your speech loses flow and confidence. Instead, keep going. Don't stop. If you said, I go to the park yesterday, the listener will still understand. Later, when you're practicing alone, you can fix the mistake. But in real conversation, fluency matters more than accuracy. Here's an exercise. Record yourself speaking for 2 minutes about your day. Don't stop. Don't correct yourself. Then listen back. You'll probably notice mistakes, but instead of feeling bad, write them down. Next time, focus on improving just 1 or 2 of them. This method keeps your speaking natural while still helping you improve. Step 3. Learn grammar. Through phrases, one of the smartest ways to master grammar is to stop memorizing rules and instead learn ready-made chunks of English. For example, I've been learning English for 3 years. I'm going to visit my family this weekend. If I were you, I'd practice more speaking. It's been a long day. It's been years since we met. When you memorize phrases like these, you're not just learning vocabulary, you're absorbing grammar automatically. You don't have to think about which tense to use because the phrase already contains the grammar. Step 4. Use the upgrade method. Start with a very basic sentence and upgrade it step by step. This method makes grammar feel natural instead of stressful. Example: I like pizza. I really like pizza. I really like pizza because it's delicious. I've always really liked pizza because it's delicious and easy to eat. Each step adds a little grammar upgrade. This way, you learn how to build sentences like Lego blocks, one piece at a time. Try this with your own ideas. Take a simple sentence like, I study English. Then build it up. I study English every day. I've been studying English for 3 years. I've been studying English every day for 3 years because I want to improve my career. With this method, grammar becomes a tool for expression, not a set of confusing rules. Step 5. Focus on communication, not perfection. Let me tell you about Sophia, one of my students. She was terrified of speaking because she always worried about tenses. In class, she would whisper, "Is it I have ate or I have eaten?" She wasted so much time thinking about grammar that she barely spoke. I gave her a challenge. For 1 week, she wasn't allowed to correct herself in conversation. She had to keep talking, even if she made grammar mistakes. At first, it was uncomfortable, but after a few days, she noticed something. People still understood her. And because she was speaking more, she started improving faster than ever. This is the secret. Mistakes are not the problem. Silence is. Step 6. Make grammar fun with games. Grammar doesn't have to be boring. Here are 3 simple games to make it more enjoyable. The 5-sentence challenge: pick a tense, like present perfect, and create 5 sentences about your life. Example: I've traveled to Spain. I've studied English for 5 years. I've never tried sushi. The story game: choose a tense and tell a short story using only that tense. Example in past simple: yesterday I woke up late, I missed the bus, and I met an old friend. Switch it up. Take one sentence and rewrite it in different tenses. Example: I go to the gym every day. I went to the gym yesterday. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. These mini games train your brain to use grammar automatically in real situations. Step 7. Shadowing for grammar. Flow. Shadowing is one of the most powerful exercises for fluency. Here's how. Find a short audio clip of a native speaker. Play it and repeat immediately, copying rhythm and intonation. Don't stop to analyze the grammar. Just copy. For example, if the audio says, "I've been working on this project for 2 weeks," repeat it exactly. Over time, your brain will absorb the grammar structures without you even realizing it. Final takeaway: grammar is not about perfection. It's about making your meaning clear. At the B1-B2 level, focus on the 6 core tenses you actually need. Don't interrupt yourself to fix every mistake. Learn grammar through phrases and sentence upgrades. Practice with games and shadowing to make it natural. Most importantly, remember that mistakes don't stop communication. Silence does. When you stop fearing grammar and start using it as a tool, your confidence grows. And the more confident you feel, the faster your English will flow. Most English learners at the B1-B2 level think the secret to fluency is only speaking practice. They say, "I just need more conversation." But here's something most people overlook. Your speaking is always limited by your listening. If you don't hear English clearly, you can't copy it. If you don't notice the rhythm, you can't produce it. That's why listening and speaking are like 2 sides of the same coin. You can't improve one without the other. Think about how children learn their first language. For the first 2 years of life, they listen. Only later do they start to speak. Babies don't study grammar rules. They don't memorize lists of words. They listen, absorb patterns, and then naturally produce speech. As an adult learner, you don't have to wait years before speaking, but you can copy this principle. Listen more, then use what you hear. Step 1. Listen to real English every day at your level. You should be listening to English every single day, even if it's only 10-15 minutes. But here's the important detail. Not the slow artificial English from your textbook. You need authentic English, the kind people actually use. That means podcasts, YouTube videos, TV shows, movies, interviews, or even TikToks. When you hear real English, you notice natural expressions like, "Sounds good." "No worries. That's on me." You know what I mean? These phrases don't usually appear in grammar books, but they're everywhere in real conversations. By listening to them repeatedly, your brain starts absorbing the rhythm and the vocabulary together. Step 2. Shadowing for rhythm and flow. One of the most powerful techniques to connect listening and speaking is shadowing. Here's how it works. Choose a short clip, 30 seconds to 1 minute. Play the audio and immediately repeat what you hear at the same time as the speaker. Don't pause. Don't stop. Just follow their rhythm like an echo. For example, if the audio says, "What are you up to today?" you instantly repeat, "What are you up to today?" You're not only practicing pronunciation, you're copying intonation, speed, and melody. At first, it feels difficult, even impossible. But after 1 or 2 weeks of daily shadowing, your fluency starts to transform. You stop sounding robotic and start sounding natural. Step 3. Listen with a purpose. A common mistake is listening passively all the time, like playing English music in the background. That helps your ears get comfortable, but it doesn't push you forward. To improve, you need active listening. Active listening means focusing on one specific detail. Linking sounds, noticing how going to becomes gonna. Stress and intonation, noticing how voices rise in questions and fall in answers. Filler words, noticing common words like, well, you know, like. Try this. Choose one episode of a podcast or video and listen 3 times. The first time, just enjoy it. The second time, listen for new vocabulary. The third time, focus on intonation. Each round trains a different skill. Step 4. Speak immediately. After listening alone is not enough. To truly learn, you need to use the language you just heard. Here's an exercise. After watching a 3-minute YouTube clip, pause and summarize it in your own words. Example: you watch a video about cooking pasta. Then you say, they explained how to cook pasta. First, boil water, then add salt, then cook the pasta for 10 minutes. This listen and speak method helps you remember vocabulary, practice sentence structure, improve confidence in retelling information. Step 5. Question and answer listening. This is one of my favorite exercises because it prepares you for real conversation. After listening to a short story or podcast, ask yourself questions. Who were the people in the story? What happened? What was the problem? What was the solution? Then answer out loud. By doing this, you simulate real conversations, listening, thinking, and speaking all at once. Step 6. Story retelling with level. Story retelling is a powerful exercise. But let's make it even more effective with levels. Beginner retelling. Just say the main idea. Original. Yesterday I went shopping and met a friend. Retelling. Someone went shopping and saw a friend. Intermediate retelling. Add details. Yesterday the person went shopping for fruit and met an old friend at the market. Advanced retelling. Add opinions or feelings. Yesterday the person went shopping for fruit, met an old friend, and felt really surprised because they hadn't seen each other in years. This technique forces your brain to stretch your vocabulary and grammar while still practicing listening comprehension. Step 7. Balance input and output. Some learners listen a lot but rarely speak. Others speak often but almost never listen. Both approaches are incomplete. The secret is balance. Here's a simple daily routine you can follow. Input. Listen to 10 minutes of a podcast or video. Noticing, write down 3 useful phrases. Output. Use those phrases in a short 2-minute speaking practice. This way, you recycle what you listen to and make it part of your active speaking vocabulary. Student story: Diego's breakthrough. Let me tell you about Diego, one of my students. He studied English for 10 years. His grammar was excellent and he had a big vocabulary. But when he spoke, he sounded unnatural, like a textbook. I asked him what kind of listening he did. He said, I only listened to the recordings in my course book. Those recordings were slow, clear, and artificial. So I gave him a challenge. Every day, watch 10 minutes of his favorite TV series in English. He had to write down 2 phrases and repeat them 10 times. After 1 month, the change was incredible. Instead of saying, yes, I understand you, he started saying, got it. Or makes sense. He sounded more natural, more fluent, and more confident. All because he connected listening with speaking. Bonus: the imitate and create method. Here's an advanced exercise. Choose a short clip of native speech. Repeat it word for word imitation. Then change some details, creation. Example: clip says, I went to the park yesterday and saw a beautiful sunset. You imitate. I went to the park yesterday and saw a beautiful sunset. Then you create. I went to the beach yesterday and saw a beautiful sunrise. This method trains you to take real English patterns and adapt them to your own life. Final takeaway: listening and speaking are not separate, they are partners. One feeds the other. At the B1-B2 level, listen to real English every day. Use shadowing to copy rhythm and tone. Listen actively, not passively. Speak immediately after listening. Retell stories to strengthen memory. Balance input and output with daily routines. When you connect listening and speaking, your English starts to flow. You stop translating in your head. You stop sounding robotic. You start sounding confident, natural, and fluent. At the B1-B2 level, most learners already know thousands of English words. You read an article and recognize almost everything. You watch a TV show and understand the key ideas. But when it's your turn to speak, your brain suddenly goes blank. You want to say something more interesting, but only simple words like good, bad, or very big come out. This happens because your vocabulary is mostly passive. You understand many words, but you don't use them. The secret to fluency isn't learning more and more words. It's activating the words you already know, so they become part of your everyday speech. Think of vocabulary like a toolbox. Right now, you have plenty of tools, but many are stuck at the bottom. You keep using the same old screwdriver for everything when you could be using the hammer, the wrench, or the power drill. Our goal in this section is to pull those tools out, dust them off, and put them to work. Step 1. Identify your passive vocabulary. The first step is awareness. Start noticing words that you understand but never use. Maybe you know the word frustrated from books and movies, but in conversation, you always say angry, or you recognize enormous, but you always say big. Here's a quick activity. Read an article or watch a video. Highlight 3 to 5 words you understood but would never use in your own speaking. Write them down in a notebook or app. This is your activation list. Step 2. The 3 sentences rule. Every time you add a word to your activation list, immediately make 3 sentences with it. For example, with frustrated. I felt frustrated when my computer crashed before saving my work. She gets frustrated if people don't listen to her advice. It's frustrating when the internet connection is slow. This exercise forces your brain to practice using the word in different contexts. After 3 sentences, the word is no longer just passive, it starts becoming active. Step 3. Upgrade your basic words. Most learners at the B1-B2 level overuse simple words. If your English always sounds like good, bad, big, small, nice, very, it won't feel fluent or advanced. Instead, start upgrading step by step. Here are some examples. Good, great, excellent, amazing, wonderful, impressive, bad, terrible, awful, disappointing, frustrating, unpleasant, big, huge, enormous, massive, gigantic, tremendous, small, tiny, little, miniature, compact, slight, very tired, exhausted, drained, worn out, shattered. UK exercise. Take one boring sentence and rewrite it 3 times with upgraded vocabulary. The movie was good. The movie was excellent. The movie was impressive and unforgettable. This kind of upgrade instantly makes your English sound richer and more expressive. Step 4. Learn collocations, not just words. Fluent speakers don't just know individual words, they know word partnerships called collocations. For example, do a mistake. Make a mistake, say me, tell me, make a photo, take a photo, strong rain, heavy rain. When you learn collocations, you stop sounding like a learner and start sounding natural. Try keeping a collocation journal where you write phrases like, take a risk, make a decision, pay attention, break the rules. Then, practice using them in short sentences. Step 5. Use new vocabulary immediately. One mistake learners make is waiting too long to feel ready before using a word. The truth is, the sooner you use a new word, the faster you'll remember it. For example, if you learn the phrase out of the blue, meaning unexpectedly, don't just write it in your notebook. Use it the same day. My friend called me out of the blue yesterday. Out of the blue, it started raining while I was walking. Even if it feels a little forced, that's okay. The more you use it, the more natural it will become. Step 6. Storytelling with vocabulary. A powerful way to activate words is by weaving them into a story. Choose 5 to 6 new words and challenge yourself to create a short story with them. For example, with frustrated, enormous, suddenly, impressed, tiny, you could say, I was frustrated because my enormous suitcase wouldn't close. Suddenly, my tiny brother helped me, and I was impressed by his clever idea. Stories connect words emotionally, which makes them much easier to remember. Step 7. Active listening for vocabulary. Listening is also a vocabulary goldmine. Every time you watch a video or listen to a podcast, pick 1 or 2 expressions you like. Then repeat them and try to use them yourself. For example, if you hear someone say, that movie blew my mind, the next day you can say, the concert last night blew my mind. This technique recycles real-world vocabulary into your speaking. Step 8. Teach it to remember it. One of the best ways to remember a word is to explain it to someone else. Teaching forces you to process and simplify the meaning. Example: you learn the word relieved. The same day you tell a friend, relieved means you feel better after being stressed. For example, I was relieved when I passed my exam. When you teach a word, it sticks in your memory because you had to actively explain it. Step 9. Spaced repetition and review. Memory is like a muscle. It needs repetition. Don't just learn a word once. Review it after 1 day, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. Apps like Anki, Quizlet, or even a simple notebook work perfectly. Here's the key. Each time you review, don't just read the word. Make a new sentence with it. This keeps the word alive in your speaking vocabulary. Student story: May's vocabulary. Breakthrough. May, one of my students, understood English articles very well, but spoke with very simple vocabulary. She always used very good, very bad, very big. I challenged her to keep a notebook of 10 upgrade words and to use at least 3 of them in every class. At first, she struggled. She had to pause mid-sentence to remember. But after 2 weeks, something amazing happened. Instead of saying, "The presentation was very good," she said, "The presentation was impressive and unforgettable." Her classmates noticed instantly. Me didn't learn thousands of new words. She activated the ones she already knew. Final takeaway. Your vocabulary is your voice. The words you use decide how fluent, confident, and natural you sound. At the B1-B2 level, don't just learn new words, activate the ones you already know. Make 3 sentences with each word. Upgrade basic words with stronger synonyms. Learn collocations, not just isolated words. Use new words immediately in conversation. Tell stories with your vocabulary. Teach words to others to remember them. Review with spaced repetition. The difference between passive and active vocabulary is simple. Practice. The more you use a word, the faster it becomes part of your natural English. Most learners believe fluency is all about grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. These are important, of course. But there's one invisible ingredient that often matters even more: confidence. Think about it. You might know 10,000 words. You might know every tense perfectly. But if you're too afraid to speak, all that knowledge stays locked inside your head. Confidence is the bridge between knowing English and actually using it. Without it, even simple conversations feel terrifying. With it, you can express yourself, even if your English isn't perfect yet. At the B1-B2 level, lack of confidence is one of the biggest barriers learners face. Many students tell me, "What if I make a mistake? What if people don't understand me? What if they laugh?" These fears are natural, but they can stop you from practicing. And here's the truth: mistakes are not the real enemy. Silence is. Step 1. Redefine mistakes as progress. Confident speakers don't avoid mistakes. They use them as teachers. Every error is feedback. If you say "she don't like pizza" and someone corrects you to "she doesn't like pizza," that's not a failure. That's instant learning. Here's a practical method. Keep a mistake journal. Every time you notice or get corrected, write the wrong version and the right version. For example, he go to work every day. He goes to work every day. Review this journal once a week. Soon you'll see your mistakes as milestones, proof that you are improving. Step 2. Prioritize communication over perfection. Many learners think they must speak like native speakers to be good enough. But fluency is not about perfection. It's about connection. Native speakers break grammar rules all the time. And conversations still work. For example, someone might say, "Me and my brother went shopping." Grammatically, it should be, "My brother and I," but everyone understands perfectly. So instead of worrying about tiny mistakes, focus on whether your message is clear. If the other person understands you, you've succeeded. Step 3. Build daily speaking habits. Confidence grows through practice. The more you speak, the more natural it feels. But waiting for the perfect opportunity doesn't work. You must create opportunities. Here are small daily habits. Self-talk. Narrate your actions in English. "Now I'm making coffee." "I need to find my keys." Voice journal. Record a 1-minute audio diary every day. Don't delete it. Listen after a month to hear your progress. Summaries. After reading an article or watching a video, explain it out loud in English. Microchats. Talk for just 2 to 3 minutes with a language partner or chatbot. These habits only take a few minutes, but they build confidence like compound interest, small daily deposits that grow over time. Step 4, visualization, training your mind for fluency. Professional athletes use visualization before competitions, and language learners can do the same. Close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking confidently. Picture yourself ordering food smoothly, giving a presentation, or chatting with a friend in English. Imagine your posture, your smile, your calm breathing. Why does this work? Because your brain often reacts to imagined experiences almost the same as real ones. If you mentally rehearse confidence, your body feels less anxious in real situations. Try this before important moments like job interviews or presentations. It can dramatically reduce nervousness. Step 5, the yes and technique to keep talking. A big confidence killer is when conversations suddenly stop because you don't know what to say. To avoid this, borrow a trick from improvisation theater, the yes and rule. Instead of giving short answers, add something extra. Question: do you like traveling? Weak answer: yes. Confident answer: yes, I like traveling. And last summer, I visited New York for the first time. This technique makes conversations longer and helps you practice more without feeling stuck. Step 6, surround yourself with English. Confidence grows when English feels like part of your life. Change your phone settings. Follow English-speaking influencers, read short blogs daily, and watch shows, even with subtitles at first. The more English surrounds you, the less special and intimidating it feels. It becomes normal, like background music in your life. Step 7. Student story, Ahmed's breakthrough. Ahmed, one of my students from Egypt, had great grammar knowledge but barely spoke in class. When I asked why, he admitted, "I'm afraid people will laugh if I make mistakes." So I gave him a strange challenge. Make at least 5 mistakes on purpose every class. At first he laughed, but he tried it. And something surprising happened. Nobody laughed at him. Instead, classmates encouraged him. By the 3rd week, Ahmed was one of the most active students. His English didn't suddenly become perfect, but his confidence exploded. This shows something powerful. Confidence isn't about speaking perfectly, it's about speaking anyway. Step 8, celebrate small wins. Many learners only celebrate big milestones, like passing an exam. But true confidence grows when you notice the small wins. Did you order coffee without switching to your native language? Celebrate it. Did you understand a joke in an English TV show? Celebrate it. Did you speak for 2 minutes without stopping? Celebrate it. These micro successes remind you that you are making progress every single day. Step 9. Reframe your identity. Here's a mindset shift. Stop saying I'm learning English. Start saying I'm an English speaker. This small change matters. If you see yourself as a learner, you'll always feel unfinished, like your English isn't good enough. But if you see yourself as a speaker, you'll give yourself permission to use the English you already have. Confidence comes not from waiting until you're perfect, but from deciding that you are already a speaker. Step 10. The confidence ladder. If big conversations scare you, start small. Imagine a ladder, talking to yourself, recording short audios, chatting online with a partner, small talk with strangers, ordering food, asking for directions, joining group discussions, giving presentations or interviews. Each step feels easier once you've mastered the one before it. Climb the ladder gradually. You don't need to jump straight to the top. Final takeaway. Confidence is the engine of fluency. At the B1-B2 level, you already know enough English to communicate. What's holding you back is not knowledge, it's fear. But fear is not permanent. You can train your mindset the same way you train grammar or vocabulary. Treat mistakes as teachers, not failures. Focus on clarity, not perfection. Build small daily speaking habits. Visualize success to reduce fear. Use yes and to keep conversations alive. Surround yourself with English to feel natural. Celebrate every small win. See yourself as an English speaker now. Climb the confidence ladder step by step. Remember, fluency doesn't start when you speak perfectly. It starts when you speak bravely. At the B1-B2 level, most learners already understand English when they read or listen. The real challenge is speaking. Why? Because most of your practice so far has been passive, filling in grammar exercises, reading texts, or listening to audio. Those skills are important, but fluency is like a muscle. It only grows when you use it in real conversations. The problem is, many learners don't live in English-speaking countries. They think, I'll only improve when I move abroad. But that's not true. Today, you can create powerful speaking opportunities anywhere in the world. You don't need to wait. You can start now. Step 1. Language exchanges. Language exchanges are one of the easiest, cheapest ways to practice real conversations. You connect with someone who wants to learn your native language, and in return, they help you with English. Here's the mistake many learners make. They just chat without structure. This feels fun, but it doesn't push you enough. Instead, make a clear plan. 15 minutes in English. 15 minutes in your partner's language. Choose one topic before the call. Travel, hobbies, food, work. Write down 3 to 4 new expressions you hear. This way, you both get equal practice and you walk away with useful vocabulary each time. Example. Let's say the topic is food. You might learn phrases like, I'm craving pizza, or this restaurant is overrated. Then, you add them to your active vocabulary list. Step 2. Online conversation classes. If you want faster results, consider online tutors. The big advantage is feedback. A teacher can correct your mistakes, explain why, and give you new expressions to try immediately. But here's the secret. You don't need a native speaker to improve. A good tutor, native or not, should encourage you to talk at least 70% of the time. The goal isn't to listen to them lecture. It's for you to practice speaking. Even 1 or 2 30-minute sessions per week can transform your confidence. Step 3. Practice with technology. We live in the best time in history to learn English. You have apps, websites, and tools that previous generations never had. Some powerful options, speech-to-text apps. Speak into your phone and see if the app correctly recognizes your words. If not, adjust your pronunciation. Voice recording. Record yourself telling a story, then compare your speech with a native model, for example, from YouTube or podcasts. AI chatbots. Practice dialogues on any topic. Interviews, casual chat, travel, whenever you want. But remember, technology only works if you speak out loud. Reading silently is not enough. Move your mouth, train your tongue, and build muscle memory. Step 4. Turn everyday life into practice. You don't need to wait for special English opportunities. You can create them daily. Try these ideas. At a restaurant, order in English if the staff understands. Join online communities, Facebook groups, or gaming servers where English is the main language. Volunteer at international events or organizations that use English. Look for language cafes or meetups in your city. Most major cities have them. The more real-life situations you find, the faster speaking will feel natural. Step 5. Shadowing conversations. Shadowing is one of the most effective ways to improve fluency and sound natural. It works like this. Choose a short podcast or video, 1 to 2 minutes. Listen once carefully. Play again and repeat every sentence immediately, like an echo. Try to copy the intonation, speed, and rhythm. This method feels challenging at first, but after a few weeks, your pronunciation and flow will improve dramatically. Example. Take a line from a TV show. I can't believe this is happening. Repeat it 10 times, matching the emotion and rhythm. Soon your speech will start to sound more natural and expressive. Step 6. Ask questions, don't just answer. Many learners think speaking means only answering questions. But fluent speakers ask questions too. It doubles your practice and makes conversations more engaging. Compare. Q. Do you like traveling? A. Yes. Conversation ends. Better. A. Yes, I love traveling. Last year I visited Spain. What about you? Do you like to travel? Now you've practiced more, and the conversation continues. Challenge. In your next conversation, try to ask 2 follow-up questions for every answer you give. Step 7. Real-world challenges. Give yourself small speaking challenges each week. For example, Week 1, record a 2-minute story about your day. Week 2, join a language exchange call. Week 3, order food or coffee in English. Week 4, introduce yourself at a meetup or online event. These small challenges push you out of your comfort zone step by step. Over time, you'll notice big improvements. Step 8. Student story. Sophia's transformation. Sophia, a learner from Brazil, had studied English for 10 years. She could read books, write emails, and understand movies. But when it came to speaking, she froze. She thought, maybe I need to move to the US before I can improve. Instead, she made a new plan. Twice a week, she joined online language exchanges. She also recorded 1-minute voice diaries daily. At first, it was uncomfortable. She hesitated, forgot words, and made mistakes. But she kept going. After 3 months, her confidence grew so much that she gave her first English presentation at work. Her colleagues were impressed. Sophia realized she didn't need to move abroad. The opportunities were already in her hands. Final takeaway. Real-life speaking practice is the fastest path to fluency. You don't need to live in London or New York to get it. You can create it wherever you are. Use language exchanges for free practice. Try tutors for structured feedback. Use apps and AI to practice every day. Shadow native speakers to sound natural. Turn daily life into English practice. Ask questions to keep conversations alive. Set weekly speaking challenges. Remember, fluency doesn't come from knowing more. It comes from using what you know again and again in real conversations. Many learners at the B1-B2 level worry about pronunciation. Some think they must copy a perfect American or British accent to be fluent. But here's the truth. Fluency doesn't mean sounding native. It means being clear, confident, and easy to understand. Think about it. English is spoken by billions of people worldwide, with accents from India, Nigeria, Germany, Brazil, and more. Most of these people don't sound native, yet they communicate perfectly. Your goal is not perfection, it's clarity. Step 1. Master sounds that change meaning. Some English sounds are so important that pronouncing them wrong can change the whole meaning. These are called minimal pairs. Examples: ship, sheep, fit, feet, cat, cut, pen, pan, rice, lice, exercise. Record yourself saying 5 minimal pairs. Play back and ask, can I hear a difference? Repeat slowly until the contrast is clear. Why does this matter? If you say, I need a sheet of paper, but it sounds like I need a something else, it can be embarrassing. Clarity prevents misunderstandings. Step 2. Stress the right syllable. English is a stress-timed language. This means some syllables are strong, others are weak. Stressing the wrong syllable can confuse listeners. Examples: present, noun, gift, present, verb to show, contract, noun agreement, contract, verb to reduce, exercise. Take 10 common 2-syllable words. Mark the stressed syllable. Say them out loud with strong stress. Stress is like the music of English. Without it, speech sounds robotic. With it, you sound natural. Step 3. Sentence stress for clarity. In sentences, some words are stressed more than others. Important words, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, are stressed. Grammar words, the A is at to, are weak. Compare: I want a new car. Car is the focus. I want a new car. New is the focus. Exercise. Take any sentence and exaggerate the stressed words. Example: I can't believe you bought that amazing house. Over time, you'll start stressing naturally without thinking. Step 4. Connect your words. Native speakers connect words instead of saying them separately. This is called connected speech. Examples. What are you doing? What you doing? I want to go. I want to go. Did you eat? Did you eat? You don't need to copy every reduction, but learning a few makes your speech smoother and helps you understand natives better. Exercise. Choose one connected phrase and practice it 10 times until it feels natural. Step 5. Slow down for clarity. Many learners think fluency means speaking fast, but speed without clarity creates confusion. In fact, many professional speakers like Barack Obama speak slowly and clearly and sound powerful. Exercise. Record yourself telling a story. First, speak quickly, then repeat slowly with clear pauses. Compare. Which version is easier to understand? Step 6. Shadowing for pronunciation and rhythm. Shadowing is one of the best pronunciation exercises. Steps. Choose a 1-minute video of a native speaker. Listen once carefully. Play again and repeat sentence by sentence, copying rhythm, intonation, and emotion. This builds muscle memory in your mouth. It trains your tongue and lips to move like an English speaker's. Example. Try shadowing movie lines. I'll be back. Terminator. Or, how you doing? Friends. Mimic the style. Step 7. Intonation, the music of English. Intonation shows emotion. Without it, speech sounds flat. Examples. Rising intonation, questions. Are you ready? Falling intonation, statements. Yes, I am. Rising, falling, surprise. Really? Exercise, take a dialogue from a movie. Over-exaggerate the intonation when you practice. Then reduce until it sounds natural. Step 8. Use tongue twisters for practice. Tongue twisters train your mouth to move faster and more accurately. Examples. She sells seashells by the seashore. Red lorry. Yellow lorry. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Exercise. Say one tongue twister 5 times a day. Start slow, then increase speed. Step 9. Student story. Ling's pronunciation breakthrough. Ling, a student from China, had excellent grammar and vocabulary but often felt embarrassed when people asked her to repeat. She spoke quickly but without stress or intonation, so her English sounded flat. We focused on 2 things, slowing down and practicing word stress. After just a few weeks, people understood her more easily. She didn't lose her accent, but she became clear. That clarity gave her confidence to speak more. Ling's story shows an important truth. You don't need to erase your accent. You just need to make your words easy to catch. Step 10. Practice with real feedback. Finally, the fastest way to improve pronunciation is feedback. Record yourself and compare with native audio. Or ask a teacher or language partner, do I sound clear? Which words are hard to understand? Feedback shows you exactly what to fix instead of guessing. Final takeaway: pronunciation is not about sounding American, British, or Australian. It's about clarity. At the B1-B2 level, focus on mastering minimal pairs that change meaning, stressing the right syllables and words, using connected speech naturally, slowing down to be clear, not just fast, practicing with shadowing and tongue twisters, adding intonation to sound expressive, seeking real feedback to improve faster. Remember, fluency without clarity is meaningless. People don't care about your accent. They care about understanding your ideas. And with practice, you can make your speech clear, confident, and unforgettable. One of the biggest reasons learners struggle with fluency at the B1-B2 level is this. They translate in their head before speaking. You hear a question in English, then quickly translate it into your native language. Think of an answer, and then try to translate it back into English. By the time you're ready, the conversation has already moved on. The problem isn't that you don't know English, it's that translation is slowing you down. If you want to speak naturally, you need to think directly in English. Step 1. Start small with everyday vocabulary. Don't try to think in English about everything at once. Begin with simple daily objects. For example, instead of looking at an apple and thinking, manzana apple, Spanish, just think apple. Exercise. Walk around your house and name 10 objects in English every day. chair, table, phone, window. This trains your brain to connect words directly without translation. Step 2. Use English for daily thoughts. Your thoughts are powerful practice tools. Instead of thinking in your native language, try small sentences in English. Examples: I'm hungry. I need to finish this work. It's a beautiful day. The more you do this, the more automatic English becomes. Step 3. Narrate your actions. This is called self-talk. When you're cooking, say, I'm cutting the onions. Now I'm boiling water. When walking, say, I'm going to the store. I'm buying bread. It might feel strange at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to think in English. Step 4. Learn in chunks. Not words translation happens when you memorize single words. But fluent speakers think in chunks, groups of words used together. For example, instead of translating word by word, in the morning, at the same time, on the other hand. When you learn phrases as a unit, your brain doesn't need to build sentences from zero. You just recall the chunk and use it. Exercise. Write 5 common chunks on sticky notes. Put them around your room. Use them daily until they become automatic. Step 5. Think in English with images, not words, children. Don't translate because they connect words directly to images. You can do the same. For example, see a dog. Think dog directly without your native language. Exercise. Use flashcards with pictures, not translations. Look at the picture and say the English word immediately. Step 6. Practice with timed speaking. One reason you translate is fear of mistakes. To break this habit, practice timed speaking. Exercise. Choose a topic. My favorite movie. Speak for 1 minute without stopping. Don't worry about mistakes. The goal is speed, not perfection. Over time, this reduces your need to translate. Step 7. Student story. Ahmed's transformation. Ahmed, a student from Egypt, always translated before speaking. This made him slow and nervous in conversations. We changed his routine. Every morning, he narrated his breakfast in English. I'm making tea. I'm eating bread. At first, it felt silly. But after a few weeks, Ahmed noticed something amazing. When his boss asked him questions in English, he answered faster, without thinking in Arabic first. By practicing daily thoughts in English, Ahmed trained his brain to skip translation. Final takeaway: thinking in English is the secret to fluency. Stop trying to translate everything, it only slows you down. Instead, start with small objects. Use English for daily thoughts. Narrate your actions. Learn chunks, not just words. Use images, not translations. Practice timed speaking. Remember, fluency doesn't come from knowing every word. It comes from thinking directly in English and speaking naturally.